When Ruger launched the Wrangler, they created a terrific, fun-to-shoot, reliable firearm at a price anyone could afford. But what could be better than the Wrangler? How about this, the brand new Super Wrangler? In this video, we're taking a look at this pistol and why this should be your next firearm. Over the last few years, Ruger and Taurus have sold hundreds of thousands of single-action 22 long rifle revolvers. The Wrangler and Rough Rider pistols brought solid quality at a functional gun at around $200. Not only were these cheap to acquire, but they're also cheap to shoot and made for awesome firearms to teach new shooters on. After the original variant, Ruger also launched the Wrangler in short 3 3/4 inch configuration, along with the longer 6.5 and 7.5 inch variants. My favorite Wrangler, however, was this, the 3 3/4 inch bird's head grip. And despite how good the original Wrangler is, people wanted more, and this is the answer. The brand new Ruger Super Wrangler. Let's take a look at its features, what makes it different, and why you need to consider this for your next firearm. What we have here is the new Super Wrangler, and what you're looking at is a revolver, and more specifically a single action revolver. Newer shooters also sometimes call these cowboy guns, and these are probably the safest type of handgun you can own. The way that these revolvers work is that after you load the cylinder, you cock the hammer and then fire the shot. You would then have to cock the hammer again to fire the next round. Because of the action, there's absolutely no way to inadvertently fire more than one shot, and you can avoid being the star of the viral videos where someone ends up double tapping from the recoil and firing around in an unsafe direction or possibly hurting yourself. The other major benefit here is that because you're not depending on the action to cycle itself, you can fire any type of ammo. The Wrangler came chambered for 22 long rifle, which meant you can fire everything from 22 CB shorts, 22 subsonic, 22 standard velocity, 22 high velocity, 22 extreme velocity ammo. It also meant that you can safely load it with any pest control ammo such as 22 birdshot or rat shot. The Super Wrangler can fire all of those types of 22. However, it also comes with a second cylinder to fire 22 Winchester Magnum Rimfire, or what's called 22 Magnum or 22 WMR. Yes, the Super Wrangler is capable of shooting 22 WMR. This was one of the most frequently asked for things with the original Wrangler, and the original response was that Ruger did not believe that the design of the original Wrangler was robust enough to handle it. As we can see on the Super Wrangler, the top of the frame has been beefed up a bit and is both thicker and wider than on a standard Ruger Wrangler. My Super Wrangler came pre-installed with a 22 LR cylinder, which holds 6 rounds. If you want to shoot 22 WMR, inside the box you will find a second cylinder specifically made for 22 Magnum. To swap out the cylinders is very easy. First, you're going to open up the loading gate. Then you press in on this locking bar and you will pull out the cylinder rod. Then you will be able to push out the cylinder from the side. Installing it is the reverse. Simply take it, put it in, put the bar in, and press the button on here. and you are good. Lock the gate and you are set. Do note that while the cylinders from the Super Wrangler and Wrangler look similar, they are not interchangeable and have slightly different dimensions that prevent them from swapping in with each other. This will prevent you from using your 22 WMR cylinder in the regular Wrangler, which is not rated for that round. So let's talk about the safeties. We mentioned that this is one of the safest firearms simply due to the single action mechanism. Besides that, Ruger has added 2 additional safety features. First, you have a transfer bar in the back that protects the firing pin from getting hit unless it is getting hit by the hammer. As you pull the trigger, the hammer swings forward, the transfer bar moves out of the way. The second safety feature is the gate interlock mechanism. If the gate is open, you're not able to cock the hammer or you pull the trigger. This prevents potential out-of-time detonations and a few other oopsies. The gun features a 5.5-inch cold hammer forged barrel, which provides for both accuracy and durability. And just like the regular Wrangler, the Super Wrangler will be available in 3 different Cerakote finishes: black, bronze, and the silver finish I have here. What we'll have to see is that if they decide to do the Super Wrangler in other barrel lengths or with bird head grip, which I definitely love. The Super Wrangler at launch comes with a standard grip. The other major upgrade on the Super Wrangler is the new set of sights. The original Wrangler featured an integrated set of sights that, while functional, left a lot to be desired. The Super Wrangler features completely new sights. First, the front sight. While it is a fin bladed style sight, it is removable. So I suspect in the future we may also see something like a fiber optic front sight. Maybe. The rear sight is also no longer integrated design and rather is an adjustable rear sight. I suspect a reason for this would be because this revolver can fire both 22 long rifle and 22 Magnum, and there is a substantial difference in velocities and ballistics between the 2 rounds. If you're shooting past 25 yards, the 2 will have much different bullet drops. Beyond the fact that the sights are adjustable, these new sights are far easier to see and shoot with, and I suspect you will love them as well. Now, let's load up some mags. Let's load up some cylinders and throw some rounds downrange. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with some of the basic 22 rimfire ammo that you're going to find at the big box stores. Then we're going to go to some of the more exotic stuff, such as the Quiet 22, the subsonics. We have some defensive 22, and then we also have some birdshot that we use for pest control. And then we'll actually go to 22 WMR and see what it does, and then we'll compare some of the differences that this revolver does, and we're going to battle cancer. Okay, so the way you load the single action revolver, if this is your first time with it, you're going to open up the gate, rotate the cylinder, put the round in, rotate the cylinder, put the round in, rotate the cylinder, put the round in, rotate the cylinder, in, rotate, in, rotate, and rotate. Then when you're done firing and you're going to want to push it out, you're going to open up the cylinder, align it, and then push the rod out, and it's going to drop out the spent case. I tell you, after shooting a 44 Magnum, this is such a joy. Okay. All right, so that's regular 22 long rifle. So the question I have is, can we knock down those plates? So what I'm going to do is load the mini mag. So these are higher velocity. All right, so we have 6 rounds, we have 6 plates. There's more power, but uh-oh, we got one. Okay. So only if you go to the top of the plate, we might actually have a chance. Now, obviously, there's absolutely no felt recoil on here. Right, so what about if we're gonna go quieter stuffs? Okay. Okay, so we definitely heard the quiet ones. I don't think there's actually that much difference between the Aguila Subsonic and the Mini Mags. What I have are these guys. So these are the CB Short 29 grainers. Look how cute and tiny they are. All right. Almost as quiet as I missed that. There we go. Nice. All right, so next what we're going to do is let's throw in the 22 WMR cylinder and see the difference in the recoil. For 22 WMR, I actually had a bunch more 22 WMR, but I found this at my local FFL. This is Armscore RIA 22 Magnum. These are 40 grain jacketed hollow points, and these should be, I believe, close to like 1800 feet per second or something along those lines. You definitely hear it more. I mean, there's still very little recoil. It almost feels like a little bit like 9mm. Okay. So I would say that is a very nice intro for people into center fire cartridges, although this is still rimfire. So here's basically a comparison, 22 LR and 22 WMR, so substantially bigger round. I missed that plate. So as I'm loading this, what I'll kind of comment on, I think 22 WMR out of this, perfect step-up training round. Because it's still not going to be like a lot more recoil, but the sound is there. It basically makes you feel like you're shooting a 9mm. So definitely very, very nice. Sights are much better improvement. The only thing I'll probably say, I would love a fiber optic, or I would probably paint the front one, because so the sun is behind me, and while I can definitely make out the rear sights, the front is a little bit duller, whereas you're really supposed to maintain front sight focus rather than rear sights. All right, so let's go for the dueling tree. We're hitting it. Even 22 WMR does not have the power to turn those plates. Recent studies have shown that the crap that they use in this causes cancer, but did you really need a study to tell you what you already knew? So let's blow some of these soda cans up. All right. Oh god, that's fun. This is amazing. Oh boy. Nice! Oh. Wow. That was stupid fun. Wow. That was stupid fun. And if it wasn't diet soda, we'd be battling diabetes. All right, let's clean up. Yeah, I think this is our first 22. So this is 22 in and out. 22 Magnum. Bottom line, with the success of the original Wrangler and so much demand for 22 WMR, I guess it was only a matter of time until Ruger launched this. What I'm most pleasantly surprised about, however, is that Ruger did not simply beef up the frame for 22 WMR, but they also upgraded the sights. Now, not only is the firearm functional, but it's also quite a bit easier to shoot at longer distances, something that 22 WMR makes possible. Again, if you're not already familiar with the Wrangler, these guns are going to be great for training new shooters, or you simply want a handgun that'll allow you to shoot a variety of different 22 long rifle ammunition choices that are out there today. Everything from subsonic 22 short up to screaming 22 high velocity rounds, and all the pest control rounds and varmint rounds in between. So the question may be, now that the Super Wrangler is here, the question you might have is, do I get the original Wrangler or the new Super Wrangler? For most gun owners, I think the answer is quite simple. Get the Super Wrangler. The Super Wranglers have an MSRP of $329 versus the current MSRP of $269 for the original Wrangler. For $50, you're getting a beefed up frame, the ability to shoot 22 WMR, and most importantly for me, you're getting a significantly better sights. It'll make the revolvers even easier to use with new shooters, and then it'll allow you to step up to 22 WMR when you need it for small game hunting or when you want to feel a bit more recoil. Keep in mind, with the original Wrangler, when it launched, it had a lower MSRP closer to $200, but based on its success and what that thing we all went through during those few years, you know what I'm talking about, the MSRP was increased to the current $269. Had the price difference been $100 or so, then perhaps you could make the case that sticking with the original Wrangler would make more sense, especially if you wanted to collect them in all of the different finishes. Perhaps the only group of people who'd recommend picking up the original Wrangler to would be shooting ranges and instructors who need to purchase multiple firearms, in which case you would likely be shooting 22 long rifle exclusively, and saving $50 is saving $50. For everyone else, get the Super Wrangler and enjoy the firearm. $50 is a very low price to pay for a much better set of sights and the flexibility to shoot the more powerful 22 Magnum, if you so desire. And speaking of desire, since obviously Ruger is listening, can we get these threaded for a suppressor and perhaps an optics-ready version? That would make it the ultimate training firearm. And imagine chambering a revolver in 5.7x28. Old meets modern. So that's the brand spanking new Ruger Super Wrangler, offering super good upgrades at a super great price. Now, if you're not familiar with the original Wrangler or the more recent Ruger Wrangler Bird's Head, go ahead and watch that playlist here. As always, I appreciate you watching. Keep on squatting, and I'll see you in the next video.